My name is Emma. I'm a teacher, and I love my job. Every day, I work with bright, curious students who make teaching feel like a joy. Last year, I met Tom, a math teacher at my school. He was charming, funny, and so easy to talk to. Our conversations were natural and warm, and soon, we started spending more time together. He seemed interested in me, and I felt the same. Tom never mentioned having a family or any sort of commitment, so I assumed he was single, just like me. Over the months, Tom and I grew closer. We'd chat after school, share laughs in the hallways, and sometimes even go for coffee on weekends. We talked about our interests, our goals, and everything in between. I found myself looking forward to seeing him every day. I had no reason to doubt him. He never hinted at a wife or family waiting for him at home. I thought our connection was real, maybe even special. Then, one evening, something unexpected happened. I was at home, relaxing after a long day, when my phone suddenly rang. It was a number I didn't recognize. Feeling a bit curious, I answered, not knowing that this call would change everything. "Hello," I said. There was a brief pause, and then a woman's voice came through. "Hi, is this Emma?" Her voice was calm, almost too calm, and it made me feel uneasy. "Yes, this is Emma," I replied, wondering who she was. The woman took a deep breath and said, "I'm Laura. I'm Tom's wife." Time seemed to stop. I gripped the phone tightly, feeling my heart sink. My mind raced as I tried to process what she had just said. Tom's wife, this couldn't be real. I felt a chill go down my spine, a mix of shock and disbelief washing over me. "Wait," what I managed to say, feeling completely thrown off. "Yes," Laura continued, her voice soft but firm. "Tom and I have been married for 6 years. We have a family." Her words hung in the air, heavy and painful. I was speechless. I hadn't known, not even a hint. Tom had seemed so open, so sincere. He never mentioned anything about being married or having a wife. The world around me felt surreal, and I struggled to find something to say. Laura continued, her voice strained with emotion. "I don't want to lose Tom. I love him, and I want to keep our family together. I thought you should know the truth." I felt a deep, aching sadness. Here I was, unknowingly caught in the middle of someone else's marriage, someone else's life. My chest tightened, and guilt started to sink in. How could Tom have hidden this from me? I hadn't wanted to hurt anyone, and yet, unknowingly, I had. I took a shaky breath and asked, "Why are you telling me this?" Laura's voice softened, but there was pain behind it. "I saw you and Tom together," she said quietly. "I wanted you to know the truth. I needed you to understand that he isn't free." Her words stung. She wasn't accusing me, but I felt the weight of her pain. Then she added, "I have photos of us together, if you don't believe me." My heart pounded as I heard her words. She sent me a few pictures, and, with a shaky hand, I opened them. There they were, Tom and Laura, smiling together, looking happy. It felt like a punch to the gut. In those moments, I felt everything: anger, sadness, and an overwhelming sense of betrayal. I could feel tears welling up in my eyes as I stared at the pictures. I had trusted Tom, believed in him, and he had hidden this huge part of his life from me. I thought back to all the moments we shared, the laughter, the easy conversations, and it all felt tainted now. I couldn't shake the sadness and confusion. I didn't know, I whispered, my voice cracking. He never told me. Laura let out a quiet sigh. I'm not blaming you, Emma, she said. I just don't want to lose him. Please, don't hurt our family. I'm asking for your understanding. Her words weighed heavily on me. I felt torn, my heart aching for both of us, her as the wife who wanted to protect her family, and me as someone who had been deceived. I knew what I had to do, even if it hurt. I won't see him anymore, I told her, the words feeling both painful and right. I promise. After we hung up, I sat in silence, letting the reality sink in. I had to end things with Tom, no matter how much it hurt. I couldn't be the reason for someone else's pain. The next day, I saw Tom at school. He greeted me with a warm smile, just like any other day, but everything felt different now. I couldn't ignore the betrayal, the lie he kept hidden. My heart ached, yet I knew I had to confront him. Can we talk? I asked, keeping my voice steady. He looked surprised but nodded, and we found a quiet spot away from prying eyes. I took a deep breath, trying to gather my thoughts, then looked directly at him. Tom, I know about Laura, I said. His face immediately fell, and he looked down, guilt written all over him. He hesitated, then said, "Oh no. I should have told you. I was afraid." Afraid of what? I asked, my voice shaking with anger and sadness. You lied to me. You let me believe you were single. He looked at me, regret in his eyes. I know. I didn't want to hurt you, Emma. I didn't want to lose you. The words stung. But you have a wife, Tom. A family. How could you let this go so far? He was silent, and I felt a wave of frustration and sadness wash over me. I never wanted to hurt anyone, he said, almost whispering. I was just. I don't know. I was drawn to you. His words felt hollow, like they couldn't begin to explain the hurt he caused. I took a shaky breath and gathered my resolve. Tom, you need to make a choice, I said, my voice trembling. You can't keep both of us. He looked down, pain evident on his face, but I knew what I had to do. I'm not going to wait around while you decide, I told him, trying to keep my voice steady. It's over, Tom. I want to be part of this. He reached for my hand, his face etched with sadness. Please, Emma, don't leave me. I need you. I pulled my hand away, feeling the weight of everything that had happened. You have Laura, Tom, I said, barely holding back tears. Go to her. Fix what's left of your marriage. With that, I walked away, my heart breaking with every step, but determined not to look back. In the days that followed, I felt both sadness and relief. I missed the closeness I'd shared with Tom, but I knew I'd made the right choice. I focused on my work, surrounded myself with friends, and tried to heal. But even with support around me, moving on felt hard. One evening, feeling the weight of everything, I called my friend Sarah and told her the whole story. We met at a small cafe, where I spilled every detail, every emotion, and every ounce of confusion. I thought he cared about me, I said, my voice heavy with sadness. But he lied about something so huge. Sarah listened closely, her face sympathetic. Emma, you did the right thing, she said gently. You can't be with someone who's already committed. You deserve more. Hearing her words gave me strength. I knew she was right, and though it hurt, I had to keep moving forward. I began to focus on my own happiness, realizing I needed to prioritize myself. A week later, I felt the urge to reach out to Laura again. I wanted to be sure she was okay and to let her know I had no intention of coming between them. We arranged to meet at a small park, a place that felt open and peaceful. When she arrived, she looked anxious but tried to smile. Thank you for meeting with me, she said softly. I smiled back, feeling a mix of sadness and compassion. I wanted to make sure you were okay, I replied. I'm so sorry for everything. Laura nodded, her face softening. It's hard, she admitted. I love Tom, but I'm scared he might leave. She shared her worries and fears, and I could feel her pain deeply. I knew she was going through her own emotional battle. You're strong, Laura, I told her. Be honest with him, talk to him, and work through this. I don't want to be a problem in your life. I've ended things with Tom. She looked at me with gratitude in her eyes. Thank you, Emma, she said quietly. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm grateful. We talked for a while, and I could feel a sense of mutual respect forming between us. As we said our goodbyes, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. I knew I'd made the right choice. Not long after, I decided it was time for a fresh start. I began planning to move to a new city, hoping a change would help me heal. My friends were incredibly supportive, and Sarah encouraged me to do what was best for myself. You deserve a new beginning, she said, and I knew she was right. On my last day at school, I said goodbye to my students. They looked sad, and a few even asked if I'd ever come back. I felt a pang of sadness, but I knew this was the best choice for me. When I arrived in my new city, I focused on building a new life. I found a teaching job at a local school, made new friends, and slowly began to feel whole again. One day, I received a message from Laura. She told me that she and Tom were working things out, and she thanked me for my understanding and honesty. I felt a sense of peace, knowing they were trying to heal. I had done what was right, even though it was painful. In time, I moved forward, finding joy in my new life and the strength I hadn't known I possessed. I often thought about Tom and Laura, hoping they would find happiness together. This experience taught me about love, integrity, and the importance of honesty. I knew I was ready to embrace whatever lay ahead, confident that love and new beginnings would find me again someday.